on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning. We've made it to Friday, folks. It's Pod Up with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. I am extremely tired, staying up watching basketball till almost 1 o'clock in the morning. These damn games going into overtime. But we'll recap them all. If up to date real quick with Gator sports, if you missed it, the spring game has been moved to April 14th, a Thursday night, 7:30. Coach Xavier wants everybody there. He wants the students there before they go on Easter break. It's a way they can bring in a lot of recruits. I want to get your thoughts on that. I know a lot of fans are not happy about it because they wanted to come for the weekend, but he's doing what's best for our program. Softball is at Texas A&M, and baseball is in Tuscaloosa to face the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's go to the Titan MR hotline, and we're joined by JC.
Yeah, man.
I guess Alabama plays today since you got their hat on.
You're damn right. Got Notre Dame today. Anything can happen, QB. They kind of limped into this tournament, but the resume was good enough to get them a 6 seed. But I really can't tell in some of these games who the 6 is, who the 11 is, who the 12 is, who the 5 is. Seeding sometimes with these games don't really seem to play out, as we saw with 2 12 seeds yesterday winning against 2 5 seeds. 5s are 52-93 all time against 12s. 12s are 52-93 all time against 5s. So that's better than 50% chance that you're going to win as a 12 seed over a 5 if history is an indication. The 2 5 seeds yesterday that won were Richmond, who played a great game yesterday against and then we had New Mexico State, who beat UConn, with Teddy Allen getting 37 points. The thing about New Mexico State that shocked me yesterday, QB, was how aggressive they seemed to play. This kid, Allen, with 37 points. You know, they lost to a 7-win Chicago State team a month ago, and it's their first win since 1993 and their 12 straight losses for New Mexico State, the Aggies. In fact, they are so unknown that the announcer at one point called them A&M. So,
they were New Mexico A&M at one time.
Okay, well, I
believe they were.
Well, they could have been. They're out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. But even more stunning than that, of course, was the story of the day, which we both would agree had to be this school the size of Eastside High School.
2,300 students. I want people to Google the gym that the Peacocks play. You know, they didn't win their league. They won their tournament to get in.
I know.
It was. In my opinion, hang on real quick. Let me read some of these Facebook Lives before we get to this Kentucky upset. Andy says, poor Jackrabbits were doomed from the get-go. The Big East had a 31 record against the Summit League. Yeah, my Jackrabbit, they're based on scoring the basketball, and they couldn't throw it in the damn ocean.
Providence beat them up pretty good. But St. Petersburg.
Dan says, JC, don't forget to watch your Auburn Tigers play Jacksonville State today at 12:15. Since you're on the Bruce Pearl. You love some Bruce Pearl. Well, John says, Shane told us that this was the best team that John Calipari has had at Kentucky, and I drank the Kool-Aid and my brackets busted. I'm just saying, from a talent standpoint, you have the player of the year. I thought it was his best team. I'll tell you this, in my opinion, I know 3 or 4 years ago, Virginia was the number 1 overall seed, got upset by Maryland, Baltimore County, and got blown out. But they were also missing the number 1 player on their team due to a broken hand. I think his name was DeAndre Hunter, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the biggest upset in the history of the NCAA tournament, because it's St. Peter's, like I just said, playing the great Kentucky, who has I think Sheedway's probably going to be the national player of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
it blew me away, and it was out. You know, I just thought Kentucky would blow them out in the second half. If anybody watched Gonzaga was tied at the half to Georgia State. Played one of the worst halves of basketball I've ever seen. They had missed 12 free throws in the first half, missing layups, and then they turn around and blow them out in the second half. I thought Kentucky would do that, but give the Peacocks. JC, you have ordered a Peacock hat, right?
Well, they got to get to the Sweet 16 like Oral Roberts.
They're not.
I don't think so either. I mean, I don't.
Who do they play?
It's easy to find out. They're going to play Murray State.
Yeah, they have zero chance.
Well, would you really say they have zero chance?
I do, because here's the thing. They're a 15 seed for a reason. They're not very good. And look at when teams like this do the upset, look at what happens the next week or next game, they get blown out. Murray State is a legit contender to go deep. It's not your normal mid-major. They have a bunch of transfers. I know a lot of Gators think that guy's going to be our coach. He ain't.
I don't want him to be the coach of the Florida Gators. I would like. What do you want? I would like to see the guy at Creighton, Doug McDermott.
It's not going to happen.
I know it's not. You asked me who I want, so I mean that's who
I would love to have. It's actually Greg McDermott. Doug is his son who plays for the Spurs.
It's Greg. You're right. Sorry. I knew that. I knew that Doug McDermott was his kid. But he's a very good coach. And Creighton was down 12 yesterday. They came back and won a game in overtime. But with this St. Peter's thing, they just, Sheway did it all he could. He had 30 points. He had a double-double. He always has a double-double. He will be, the player of the year. But this Kentucky thing is shocking. And it kind of, part of me feels bad for those kids too. I mean, these are all just college kids and they're embarrassed. And this was, as you said, the biggest upset probably that we've seen.
In my opinion, it is.
Yeah. I mean, at least that we have seen.
Well, because you got to think about it. Like I just mentioned, Virginia was the number 1 overall seed without their best player. They get blown out.
Kentucky had everybody.
Kentucky has probably the national player of the year with all this talent. And Virginia has no history. I mean, Virginia, I think, won one national title when Ralph Sampson played, maybe. I could be wrong.
Well, no, they just won. Virginia just won with.
That's right. They won a couple years ago. My point is, Kentucky's got all that great tradition.
Oh yeah,
and I would love for you people to Google their gym. It literally, I don't think it seats 1,500 people.
It's smaller than Santa Fe's colleges over here. And so it is. I really think it is. It's unbelievable and good for them. I mean, that's the story of the day yesterday. But I can't forget about what New Mexico State was able to do, what Richmond was able to do. Richmond played a great game yesterday. I thought Tennessee did what Tennessee does. They played a great game yesterday. We saw Vermont hang with Arkansas. That was a very good game. It's close all the way to the end. So the Baylor looked good, I guess. But, this is March Madness. And, bracket busters, if you had Kentucky to win it, you're probably hurting right now. The bracket's probably over after
you're done. You have zero chance of winning.
You're over after the first day. So, and a lot of folks did have Kentucky, and I guess understandably so. I thought St. Mary's was impressive. We had an Indiana team that was really probably tired, traveling 3 time zones and playing 2 nights before against a team that had been resting for 10 days, a very good team in St. Mary's. So that kind of surprised me a little bit that they blew them out by that large margin. And that Murray State-San Francisco game yesterday kept us up till 1 o'clock. It was one of the best games of the day. So the tournament doesn't disappoint, QB. We had 3 overtime games, and we had some 12s beating 5s. And today, I mean, it could be different. It may not be. It may be all chalk, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset. And one of the ones that I think certainly could happen would be, and I don't even think it's an upset, but I think Chattanooga, watch how they play today with Illinois. I think that could be a game that could surprise some folks because I'm not sold on the Illini. And Chattanooga is running high right now after winning their conference tournament on a buzzer beater. So that would be, if I'm saying what upset would I predict today, if I had to predict one, it would be probably the Chattanooga game. And I think UAB and Colgate can make these games close today against Houston and Wisconsin.
Yep. A couple of Facebook Lives. Dan says there's only 750 perfect brackets out of 17 million on ESPN. I mean, who the hell picks St. Peter's to win the game in the first place?
Yeah,
I guess if you're like a professor at St. Peter's, you have no idea about anything in basketball. You're teaching some crazy economics class. You're like, I'll take the Peacocks. I don't know who this Kentucky team they're playing.
Okay.
John says, I saw the gym this morning. It looks like a high school gym.
It is.
Yes, there are multiple. It's smaller than most high schools. There's only 2,300 students in the entire school. So it's crazy. All right, so I'm going to look real quick here. We got a lot to talk about today, but I'm going to go down. Loyola could beat Ohio State. I don't know if that would be considered an upset or not. Look for Yale to give Purdue fits. I think Purdue will win, but Yale's going to give them fits. Let's see. I think Virginia Tech's going to beat Texas. I think Chattanooga has a chance against Illinois.
Yeah.
UAB has a bunch of transfers. I don't know how Houston keeps winning games, but they do. That would be a good one. I think Davidson beats Michigan State today. And Colgate is going to scare Wisconsin. But everybody's killing me about my Jackrabbits pick, but you got to score to win, folks. And that's what their program's based on, is putting the ball in the basket. And hell, they couldn't throw it in Osh.
Well, I like Providence. Big East champions from the regular season. Big, strong team goes inside, wins, and Jackrabbits are very fun to watch offensively, but they're ranked one of the lowest teams in college basketball defensively. So I think they're ranked 200th or something. I mean, they're very lowly ranked defensively, and Providence had their way with them. So that's okay.
Well, it was a 3-point game with like 3 minutes to go. Wow. I mean, they cut it to like 3 or 4 points. San Diego State, and then they just couldn't score. So JC, real quick, we got a text on the Titan MR text line. Jonathan says, can you ask JC how his stats and trends are doing after day one that he gave us the other day?
Stats and trends. Well, yeah,
whatever all that nonsense you gave us the other day.
It wasn't nonsense. It was good. I said that no. Where are my stats and trends? Great question. I apologize. Well, I think I said that no team that had lost in their first game had won the tournament ever. Their first game of their conference tournament had ever won the NCAA tournament, and that would include Auburn and Baylor. All right, 2 number 1 seeds. Now, Baylor looked great yesterday, but they should have. They played Norfolk State. I think Auburn's going to win today, too, as well. But I'm talking about the whole thing. All right, that was one of my trends. And then the other trend was 12s and 5s, or I think it was upset teams. And I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't have it. I
bad preparation there, JC. All right, we got a text here. Text on the Titan MR text line. Lauren, first of all, Lauren says on Facebook Live, Calipari may be available to come to Florida. They're going to kill him, dude. They're going to kill him all season.
Well, give him credit. He took blame. I mean, he flat out put it on himself. So, I mean, they're up 8 points, QB. They should have won the game.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
This comes from an anonymous texter. Don't know his name, but he says, I guess he's referring to the spring game. Terrible move. Can't attend the spring game. Night game, school and work the next day. Lots of money lost by Gainesville and UF. Many Gator fans won't be able to attend. Just don't understand. Thumbs down. But I understand, but it's not about the fans. It's about, you wanted a coach who believes in recruiting, and this is his way of saying, we're going to get these top – because if you have it on a Saturday when Georgia and Alabama and whoever else are having the same game, kids have to choose where to go. So he moved it to Thursday night specifically to make sure those recruits are able to be there. I have no problem with it. I understand people want to come for the weekend, but don't bitch about it because you wanted a coach that is big into recruiting. This is his way of doing it.
I mean, I give about this much.
Well, I know you don't, because you're not.
I'm not the only one, dude. It's most of Florida. I think most Florida fans don't either. But the ones who are ready and want to see that, I can see the anxiety there. But dude, take the day off on Friday if it's that big a deal. I mean, if it's that big of a deal, just take the damn day off Friday.
Yeah, and keep your kid out of school. Yeah, just make And Asa says the game is free, so nobody loses any money. That's true. It's free to get into this game.
What's the school business? I mean, it's middle of April. School's just about over anyway for a lot of people. So especially at UF, I think it's pretty much done. So I don't know. I mean, look, I get it, folks. But I put 2 kids through school. I understand what that's all about. Take the damn day off. It's not a big deal if you have to go watch that. But most people won't. So I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think it is.
We got a text here.
Watch
Joe on the Titan MR text line. He says it's not about the fans, but it's also about the local economy. Restaurants, bars, and hotels rely on this weekend to survive, and millions of dollars are now just.
I don't agree with that at all. You know what they rely on? They rely on Gator Nationals. They rely on things like the orange and blue game is not an economic boost. I disagree with that. What are you going to have? 20,000 fans in the stadium? That's not an economic boom. Okay, the Bonefish Grill is going to be no different after the orange and blue game than it will be before the orange and blue game. I don't. Gator Nationals is something that you have to consider economically. Regular season Florida games obviously would be unless they play at 12 o'clock. So, those are economic boomers for Gainesville, but the orange and blue game to me is not. I've been here too long to know better.
This comes from Daryl on the Titan MR text line. He says, "Good morning, guys. Some Gator fans want Rick Pitino as the coach. I don't want a coach with baggage. I would rather have a coach that runs a clean program." Daryl, I can tell you this. I have a better chance of coaching the Dallas Cowboys than Rick Pitino does coaching the Gators in basketball.
You did a better chance than that, huh? You did have a better chance.
Dude, remember what I've said.
Jerry calling you?
Yeah, Jerry Jones is calling me. I turned him down. And I probably have a better chance of coaching Alabama in football than Rick Pitino does at coaching here in basketball. He's even in the mix. I believe I don't know who our coach is going to be. I will say this: I definitely don't think it's going to be the Murray State coach, Matt McMahon.
No, he's busy.
I don't think it's going to be Greg McDermott. It ain't going to be Rick Pitino. It ain't going to be Billy Donovan.
You want to throw a name out there for all the?
I don't have a name, but I've been told that it's going to. Huh?
Yeah.
I told you who I wanted was Greg McDermott.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And Dan Bond says on Facebook Live that Jerry Jones does have me on his short list.
Okay.
Dan. In his right hand desk drawer in his black book. So I think we'll have a coach here pretty soon. But I honestly don't know who it is, but I will rule those guys out. Okay. And I have 2 very good sources that keep me up to date. They have the information. They won't give me the information. Not that I would even tell anybody, but they give me hints here and there. So we'll leave it at that. Okay, JC, real quick. I have a problem with this. And I think you do too, but you're very opinionated, so I want to hear your opinion. You get on right now, the national championships for swimming are going on.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
This damn guy who has turned girl is winning all the female events. And it's ridiculous, in my opinion.
No, it's absolutely wrong. I'm sorry, folks. It's just wrong. It's not right. This is hurting female sports. I don't care what anybody wants to say about it. I'm not normalizing any of this. It's not. So, I mean, this is a male competing in female sports. I'm sorry. He can call himself what he wants. If he's mixed up on what he is, that's his issue. But I think everybody else knows what he is. And he's a boy playing in girls sports, period.
Yeah, it's just, it just drives me insane. I mean, could you imagine?
No.
I mean, could you imagine? Let's just use James Bates. We all know his wife, Tina, was a swimmer here. He's got 2 girls on the swim team. Right. Both of them are outstanding. Right. I think they're all Americans. Right. But if you're in a 50-meter freestyle or backstroke, whatever the event is, and you see Tom get on the sprinter's box or whatever it's called, and Tom beats Talia Bates, I was raising hell.
Kills him. And same thing goes for track and field, QB. I mean, you've got sprinters.
Well, I don't know if that's happening in track and field.
Oh, it did. It did happen up north with some track and field kids in girls track and field events and boys running against girls at the age of 16, 17. It's infuriating. If I had a daughter, I'd be distraught.
Hang on. Our listeners obviously follow this much more than we do.
Oh, yeah.
But here, John says when he was swimming in the male division, he was ranked 462nd. Now he is swimming with girls. He's ranked first.
No, it's just, I'll just say it's wrong. It's not right.
It's totally wrong.
This is a boy playing girls sports. He can call himself what he wants. That's fine, but it's not right. And they want to talk about rights and equality. It's not about that whatsoever. It's being forced upon female sports. And if I had a daughter competing, I would not be pleased with this. I think this is backwards. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so we got another text on the Titan MR text line from Alan in Atlanta. He says, referring to the spring game, it's about getting the student body engaged as well. 55,000 students and wants to get as many there as possible. Yeah, he's reaching out to the student body, which I think is a good move because majority of this student body could care less about Gator athletics. A lot of them don't know anything about Gator sports. That's the truth. So,
well, QB, again, I've got a son graduating in April. I don't think he's said one thing about the orange and blue game, and he does watch football games. He has gone to games, but he's about to graduate. I mean, school's out. So maybe it would have been fun for them to go to and watch, and is by going on a Thursday night. Look, again, you're not going to get the RVs rolling in from Venice or Sarasota spending $8,000 for this. You're not, even if it's on a weekend, you're just not. Okay. It's just, I mean, I'm sorry it inconveniences folks, but is it really that big of a deal? I mean, do you really think you're going to miss something if you don't go? And if you do go, just go on Thursday night and then go home. I mean, why is this a problem? What is this? What's I don't even watch the Alabama spring games, dude, and they're on TV. I couldn't care less. I could not. So this is not a topic. To me, this is not a topic. Not big.
Ogre State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. They offer auto, home, life, and health insurance. Go visit them at ogreinsurance.com or give them a call at 352-240-1779. Speaking with JC here on the Titan MR hotline. Got a lot more to talk about here, JC. Real quick, Lauren says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law, he says, with the 50th anniversary of Title IX, it's very disheartening. I had an aunt that fought hard for women's athletics in Ohio. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring it up and cause a bunch of issues, but I think I disagree with it. I'm
nothing wrong with bringing it up, QB. That's what we're here to talk about. And it is happening, and it's not happening as much down here, but it is all over the Northeast. I mean, it's happening a bunch. And like I said, track and field is happening too. Yesterday, QB, I had some stone cold locks in my mind. I thought Kansas was a stone cold lock. It
was.
I thought Tennessee was a stone cold lock, blew them out. It was. And I was not as worried about Michigan yesterday, even though Colorado State really played well early in that game. And the reason was because I thought Michigan's matchup-wise was so much bigger than Colorado State that they would have had their way with them, and they ended up pulling away in the end. That did not surprise me whatsoever. So there were some games that did not surprise me whatsoever. I was impressed, though, with the way Richmond played against Iowa, and I was impressed with St. Mary's and just how they dismantled them. And look, North Carolina got 95 yesterday, QB. If they score in the 80s and 90s, that's going to be a team to keep your eye on. North Carolina. Yeah.
Yes, they're playing real well right now. St. Mary's, I saw St. Mary's play live in Vegas when I was out there for a conference.
Oh, did you? Okay.
In the preseason tournament. I don't know if it was the Maui Invitation or one of those that was located in Vegas there. And I was like, man, I watched these guys and I'm like, this team ain't very athletic. They ain't very good.
Right.
But it gets all, St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and now Arizona, they have their entire rosters international. And man, they are solid. They are very.
I think so. I like the coach. I think the coach is a good, solid coach there. He's been there a long time. I like him a lot. But North Carolina, man, don't sleep on them. I know they're going to be playing. What were they? They were a 9 seed, so they've got a 1 coming up here. Who do they have?
Baylor.
Oh wow,
they can beat Baylor.
Ooh, that's going to be. I think you're going to see a high scoring, up tempo type of game there. And I wouldn't be surprised either if they won. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, JC, let's switch gears a little bit outside of college sports and the tournament.
Oh.
The NFL is nuts right now. I mean, it is crazy. Aaron Rodgers signs his big deal.
And then there goes
and then Devontae Adams leaves and goes to the Raiders. But supposedly he knew that Devontae wasn't coming back, which is interesting. But think about the Raiders now. You got Derek Carr, who's I think is a really good player. You're going to have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller to deal with.
Look, dude, it's without a doubt, in my mind, without a doubt, now that Khalil Mack is going to the Chargers, that division is the most loaded division in the AFC and maybe in the entire league. And, I thought last year the NFC West was, and I think that's proven true. The AFC West, Kansas City, and look at Denver with Russell Wilson. And, they've got a player who can play. And how about Buffalo getting Von Miller?
They're my pick. They're my pick to win it all.
Well, Buffalo, again, you gotta love that pick. You gotta love that. I love
that pick.
Yeah, you gotta love it. The Rams offloading some players now, trying to free up some salary. Signed to Allen Robinson, and I really think that, and then lost Darius Williams, who's a great defensive back, to the Jaguars. Darius Williams signed a 3-year, $39 million contract for the Jags. This is a very good player, folks. You probably don't know who he is, but he's been starting for the Rams for the last 3 years. He's a very good player. So that's a good
Jaguars. Here's what's interesting.
Good pickup for the Jags, QB.
With Doug Peterson and his staff know what they're doing.
Yes.
They know what they're doing.
Yes, they do. This was a great. Finally, somebody got the right. I think they got the right guy there. I'm pleased with that pick as a Jags follower, and you just look at these players moving, changing addresses. Deshaun Watson is likely going to end up in New Orleans, perhaps, or Atlanta. The Falcons extended Matt Ryan's, I guess, signing. Whether or not they're going to keep him from Thursday next week to the following week, or something like that. They're all trying to get Deshaun Watson. Atlanta and New Orleans are the two favorites. Carolina's out of it now. But I tell you, it is fun to see these guys. Carson Wentz is now a commander, right?
Here's what I'll say.
He's the commander.
The AFC West is equivalent to the SEC now. And when you look at the NFC East, it's like mid-major football.
Well,
those teams are so bad.
Well, they're down. There's no question. I don't think Dallas is as bad nearly as these other three in that division. But I agree with you there. But certainly, Carson Wentz might help Washington. I don't know.
I don't think he will. He's a turnover machine. I'm not a fan of his.
You're not a fan. Khalil Mack going from the Bears to the Chargers, though, man. Woo, I think that really helps them. And the Chargers.
I saw where your squad just signed Allen Robinson, who's a damn good wideout.
I just said that, QB.
Oh, did you? I was reading too many Facebook Lives, because here's one I got to read from Dan.
Okay.
Brought to you by Mel. I had no idea you said that. He wants to know which bracket is JC and QB's on the Pod Up group. Okay, I'll tell you mine. I got two. Mine is SM9 and Swampers. Okay, I think one of mine is done, but JC forgot to sign up. But his are done anyway, folks. He had three brackets. Two of them had Kentucky winning it all.
No, I had four, and two were Kentucky's, but the other two were Tennessee and Villanova on CBS Sports. I'm sorry I forgot to do it. I apologize. I don't know why I couldn't find it or I didn't do it. But my two winners that are still alive are Tennessee and Villanova.
But didn't you have Iowa going to your Final Four in one of them?
They were in one of the Kentucky brackets. Yeah. So that bracket, that's totally wasted. That's gone. But I did like Iowa. Look, man, the Big Ten loses. They didn't have a good day yesterday, QB. They had 9 teams go in. Indiana got blown out. Iowa lost to Richmond. Played a good game, but still lost because Richmond played just a little bit better, QB. And the Big Ten. 9 teams. Tell me how that can be. How do they get 9? Now, Michigan had a good day. There's no doubt Michigan played well. And I kind of expected that to happen. I thought that Michigan would play well. So, but back to this NFL thing, QB. I mean, didn't the Dolphins just get somebody here recently? In Tampa Bay, of course, signing Chris Godwin to 3 years to $60 million.
Yeah, and they're trying. Supposedly, there's rumors out there. Brady's trying to get Julio Jones to join them.
Well, he got cut, so he'll be out there available. The Titans, rightfully so, did not want to pay him $12 million. And can you blame them? The guy doesn't play. He just does not play. So maybe he comes down to Tampa. But they already signed Gage. They got Russell Gage signed. They got Godwin signed. They got Evans signed. They got guys signed. And Gronk's going to sign. He's just another big target for Brady. Bucks will be fine. No doubt.
Cliff asked on Facebook Live here, QB, what do you think about the Denver trade for Russell Wilson? Do you think they gave up too much?
Maybe.
It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. In today's football, it doesn't matter. Look what the Rams gave up. When's the next time the Rams have a first-round draft pick, JC?
Yeah, I think it's 3 years from now.
Yeah. You think they give a damn? No.
No, they got the ring. They got the ring, and they're signing free agents just as fast as the ones that are leaving. And we knew that Von Miller was a rental. He was a rental, and he served exactly the purpose they needed.
Teams like the Rams and like Buffalo, who hasn't won it, but has an opportunity. The Chiefs are the same way. It's all about who can I get for a year to help us win.
Yeah. Reynolds. Yeah, and some folks say, well, that's a recipe for disaster. Well, it's not in Los Angeles. And certainly, not all teams get by with that. Oh, Mostert. That's right. McDaniels brought in the very good running back for San Francisco who's been prone to injury, but who's, when healthy, is very good. That's Raheem Mostert. He's going to Miami now with Mike McDaniel. So that's a big pickup for the Dolphins. They need players like that. They need guys who can score and hopefully can stay healthy and help the Dolphins. Because I think the Dolphins are going to really enjoy this coach, man. I'm a big believer in this guy. I mean, if he's good enough to be a Kyle Shanahan's OC, he's good enough to be Miami's head coach because they haven't had much luck here in a long time.
So we had somebody. I got to scroll through, but I'm not going to. But they were asking about JC's Jags picking 7 wins. I think they can win 7 games now with this coaching staff. This
coach and the GM are good. They're good football people. He is a Super Bowl winning coach, and it wasn't that long ago. He found the right chemistry at the right time, and part of that is the way you win. And certainly, I think Khan finally found a good. I agree with you. And this Darius Williams, folks, he's a good player. Just pull up some video on Darius Williams, starting for the Rams. He started with Ramsey in the backfield on their defense. He was excellent. He's a good player. You got $39 million to pay him for 3 years. He's going to be.
Well, the Jags have the first overall pick. I don't know what they're planning to do with that. If they keep it, I don't know who the top wide receiver in the draft is. I don't know if it's Chris Olave or who. I'm taking that dude. I need somebody that can score touchdowns and can run. Jaguars had nobody on their roster that can run.
They've got to find. Yeah, no. And I think Doug Peterson is smart enough for that. And if they don't get a touchdown score, they better get somebody to protect Trevor Lawrence. Somebody like that. But yeah, you're right. It's getting better, folks. Just believe in that for Jacksonville. And I think it's getting better for Miami, too. I really think so. And I think Tampa Bay is in great shape. They re-signed their center, Tampa did. So, the big redheaded guy that Brady likes. So, yeah. I mean, this is good. NFL's good. This offseason stuff.
It's crazy. The NFL is crazy right now. All right, JC, before we let you go, I want to read This Day in Sports brought to you by our good friends at Comfort Temp. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Comfort Temp's now hiring team members with all levels of experience. $1,000 signing bonus for qualified positions. Give them a call, 352-376-2366. This Day in Sports. Mm-hmm. Think about this, JC. 1990, 32 years ago.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. At the Players' Championship over at Sawgrass, Jody Mudd wins by 1 stroke over Gator Mark Calcavecchia, and he won. Take a guess of what he – okay, think about this. Last week, Cam Smith won the Players, same tournament, 22 years now. He won $3.65 million. What do you think Jody Mudd won in 1990 winning the Players?
Wait, Cam Smith won what?
$3.65 million.
I thought it was 1.9, QB.
No.
3.6?
Yes. I'm about 100% sure I'm correct on that, but somebody can check it.
Yeah, okay. So Jody Mudd, let's see, Georgia Southern graduate, won this. I bet you didn't know I knew that. He probably was paid $250,000.
$270,000.
Oh, I get that. Unbelievable. I should be on The Price is Right with Bob Barker.
You should. Okay, so real quick before we let you go, I got to Google now how much Cam Smith won because I know I'm right.
Please do, because that sounds way too much. I think
it's the largest purse in golf.
It's $20 million. I get it, but I don't think he won 3. But maybe he did. Just tell me if I'm wrong. I thought it was 1.9, honestly.
No, I want to say like third place is like 1.9. He won 3.6.
Okay, well, that's news to me. That surprises me.
Lahari, who came in second, won $2,180,000.
Oh, goodness, Lahiri. So did I take Scott Stallings in this Valspar?
No, speaking of Valspar, and the guy I was going to take is winning it because he won it last year, Sam Burns. You took Kokrak, Streelman, and Kisner. I have Hovland, Keegan Bradley, and Alex Noren.
All right, so I looked at Stallings. Well, Stallings and Burns and Hadwin and Lipsky and Vegas are all tied for first. It could be a who's who at the Valspar. Hey, but Tampa's the place to be. You got the PGA event this weekend. You got the NCAA tournament going on, and actually it's not in there, but that's another event to watch. And then you got spring break going on down there, and you got the Rangers playing the Lightning tomorrow night. The New York Rangers, who will be in the playoffs this year, playing Tampa Bay. That is a hotbed of activity this week. I want to also say happy anniversary to Carmen, who is now the wife of JC for 4 years. That happened. That happened yesterday in what was the
Did y'all celebrate it? Did y'all go drink green beer?
St. Patrick's Day. Now, green beer will be flowing this today and tomorrow over in Jack's Beach. So how about that?
Hang on a second. I got to read what Dan said here. Dan says, he said, thanks, JC, because you're going off the program. He says, thanks, JC. He goes, the Pearl Appreciation Society president. You're the Bruce Pearl Appreciation president.
Here you go. Auburn's going to be in the Sweet 16. They will be, and nobody's pissed off about it at all. That's a fact.
Well, we'll see what happens up in Lexington, Kentucky. That's very interesting what happened to those guys. I think it's the biggest upset in the history of college basketball.
Quite a story, man. It's absolute amazing. This St. Peter's team, they were not intimidated. They did not care. They just went out and balled. And they were down 8 and came back. They were down 4 in the overtime, QB. They could have easily just packed it in.
I watched the damn game. I watched that. I watched a lot of basketball yesterday.
And
there were so many people out there had Iowa going a long ways because they were hot. Yeah. They couldn't score. You got to score.
Well, listen, and you're going to do the same thing today. It's day 2. We got 4 days of this, QB, 4. But you're right. On the weekend, round of 32, definitely you don't have as many games, but it's a lot of basketball, and that's what this is all about.
And don't forget, the Gators play I believe it's Sunday around noon before the NCAA tournament kicks off. We're playing Xavier. Did you know that, JC?
Wait a minute. No, that's Saturday.
Is it Saturday? I couldn't remember. I didn't know if it was Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. No, I think it's let me just make one last point before you boot me out of here. How about this? You can be really sad that you get the NIT instead of the NCAA, but you know what Texas A&M and Florida are doing that maybe that Kentucky's not doing? Is still playing basketball. And you know what Texas A&M and Florida are doing right now that a bunch of teams are not doing? It's called playing basketball. So after today, there will be 32 teams that got bids to the NCAA tournament, and they will not be playing on Saturday. But Florida and Texas A&M are playing on Saturday. And you know what?
Speaking of that, we're playing Xavier. Xavier's looking for a coach. Because they fired their coach after his win in the first round of the NIT. They fired him. All right, JC, before we let you go, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, so just let me.
Did we talk about this Monday or no? Did you see Buzz Williams's
he skated
the other night?
He skated. And by the way, you were right. They are playing Xavier on Sunday at 1:00. I stand corrected. Good job there, QB. But yes, I did hear Buzz Williams, and I 1,000% behind that guy. He lost. He's losing confidence. And listen, the NCAA selection committee may have done a great job because of the way the day went yesterday, but they basically told the world that Saturday and Sunday of conference tournaments are relatively meaningless, except to slide in a few teams that were bubbled out in case they lost. And that, or in case they would win, like Virginia Tech winning the bid. That's an automatic bid if you win your conference tournament. But they were not going to be in the tournament if they didn't beat Duke that night. So they basically just shut it down on Friday, in my opinion. Saturday and Sunday did not matter in these selection committees. I think it's pretty obvious. But yes, QB, good job. Florida's playing on Sunday at 1:00 in Cincinnati. That's a good trip, right? I mean, you don't think Chris Harry wants to go to Cincinnati? He's excited about it.
No, he doesn't. I'll guarantee he doesn't.
What?
Dan says, last thing here, Dan says, I have Auburn to the Elite Eight. The argument, JC, was about cheating, not winning.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks so much for the clarification. Well, I don't know. I mean, Bruce Pearl was hired with, they had to show cause, and they did.
But have you done your research on Bruce Pearl yet or no?
Not really.
Okay, well, go do it, and you'll see what everybody's talking about. All right, JC, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday and see how this brackets look on Monday.
We'll have 16 teams left on Monday. That's it.
Yep, that's JC. Join us on the Titan MR hotline. We're going to take a timeout, come back, get to all these dang texts and Facebook Live messages. You're watching and listening to Pod Up with Matthews in the morning.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are MB Listing, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avra and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit podupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They're getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmitt. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. In North Central Florida, call 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Nike, Regal Cinemas, Les Macarons, Bass Pro Shops, International Diamond Center, Prime and Pearl, and the HPC's restaurant. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, now serving brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. We'll see you at Celebration Point, where the Gators go to celebrate. I want to thank JC for joining us on the Titan MR hotline. We got a bunch of stuff to get to right here. I want to get spring practice. They had practice number 2 yesterday. I'm hoping to get out there. I think they practice tomorrow. But I know a lot of people are upset about Coach Napier and the UAA moving it to Thursday night, but in the long run, it's what they think is best for our program, and you got to go with that. I know it's not accommodating a lot of people. Either take off work, take your kids out of school, or you can watch it on streaming, I guess. I don't know how all that works, but he's hoping to get the student body involved, which is crucial at this point. I don't think we've had great participation from the student body in the last several years. And the biggest thing is getting recruits on campus and not going to other schools. So that's what it's all about. Let's see. There was one up here that I wanted to read. We're getting a call. I'm not sure who. I guess are we been talking about Phil Jackson on here? Let's see. Daniel says the Jag just signed stud wide receiver from Arizona. Yeah, they signed Christian Kirk, really good player. Will definitely help them. He's their best receiver they got right now. They need speed. They need some dudes that can run, and that will help. I think the Jags are going to be a good. I shouldn't say good. They're in a bad division. Although the Titans are pretty good, but everybody else stinks. Colts are decent, but they're going to be much better than they've been in the past few years. Got a text here on the Tiny Mart text line. Let's see. It's from Dave in Melbourne. I wonder if that's Melbourne, Florida, or Melbourne, Australia. He says, Shane, have you been to any practices? And if so, which quarterback looks the best? Well, I have not. And when you're in shorts, I can't tell you a whole lot, quite honestly, because everybody looks good in shorts because you ain't getting hit, which our quarterbacks will not get hit in practice. But you got to have 11 versus 11. It's decision making. That's the number one key. When you're just throwing routes on air, there ain't no decision making. You can see if a guy is accurate. Can a guy throw on time? Things of that nature, but long ways to go. So it's hard to tell. As I said, I haven't been there, but I'm hoping to get out there soon, and I will give a better report. I don't know what's going to happen at the quarterback position. I think a lot of people still surprised Emory is still here, but obviously Billy Napier and them saw something that they liked and convinced him. I know he's wanting to graduate. I don't know if that means after spring ball he'll go somewhere else, but we shall see. Dan asked, how's that Clemson running back they drafted in the first round that got hurt doing? He's talking about Travis Etienne. I have not heard Dan, but he's a dude that can run. And that's the one thing that Jag were missing was team speed. I've talked about the Gators not looking real fast last year. I didn't think the Jaguars were a fast team. It's ridiculous to not be fast in the NFL. It's kind of ridiculous for the Gators to not be fast as a team as well. Cliff says Amari Cooper may be available if he's not already. I know there were talks about him the other day getting traded to the Browns. He's still got a few years under his belt. He'll end up somewhere for sure. I don't know what they're going to do with Baker Mayfield with the Browns. Rick says, speaking of golf, what is the plan to build a top golf type range at Meadowbrook? Rick, that's the first I've heard of it. I have not heard anything about that. I think it's something that Gainesville could use for sure. So we shall see. At Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. Taking your text and your Facebook Live comments here. On Monday, we are going to have a guest breaking down. Hopefully, we'll have a basketball coach by then. I'm thinking we will, but not 100% sure. So we shall see. I would like to know who y'all have as big upsets today. As I mentioned earlier, I think Colgate, I don't think they're going to beat Wisconsin, but I think that game can be very, very close. I think Yale is going to lose to Purdue, but I think it's going to be a close game. And I really think Davidson is going to beat Michigan State. And I think UAB, as I mentioned earlier, and I don't know if it was all fair to JC or on air, they have a lot of dudes that can score. But Houston, even without their two starters that they've had out for the entire year, they somehow win games. Kelvin Sampson does a tremendous job. Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Metal Law, Cooper to Browns. Cowboy fans here are mad because they re-signed the injured wide receiver for big bucks after getting nothing for Cooper. Oh, okay. So he's already I thought he was going to the Browns. John says, just go ahead and break the news, Shane. Who's the new coach? I don't know. My sources, they will not tell me. They want to give me hints, but I do when I do mention some names, they in a roundabout way, they tell me that's not the guy. I would love to let you guys know, but I have no idea. I don't think it's going to be a guy that the Gator fans are. Depends on if you're a true basketball fan or if you're just a fan. I was told that basketball fans will like the hire. Just people that don't know names and things of that nature will not like the hire. But Mary says April 16th is Easter weekend. That is correct. Dan says he has Chattanooga winning today. They've had a tremendous year. If they can control the big man from Illinois and the guard, I mean, they got some good guard. Illinois is a weird team to me. They got tremendous guards and they got a big man. So, I mean, there's your recipe right there to go to make a deep run, but they've lost a lot of games this year that they probably shouldn't have. So we shall see. Let's take our final time out, come back, wrap up this Friday edition.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Caldwell Banker, MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. At South State Bank, we understand that small businesses need a community business partner that they can rely on. South State has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. South State Bank, banking for member FDIC. Lauren says on Facebook Live, Omar Payne is at Illinois. Yeah, he's the backup center. Dan says he'll be watching gymnastics this weekend, hoping the Gators can win a national title. Yeah, I forgot that's going on. We'll tune in for that as well. A lot of stuff going on. Don't forget, baseball is in Tuscaloosa for a series against Alabama. And then softball is out in, I think they're in College Station this weekend. Texas A&M used to be really good in softball. They've kind of fallen off the face of the earth when it comes to softball, which is surprising with all their resources out there. Make sure you have tell all your friends and family to follow our program, please. And like us, give us thumbs up, all those different things you do on the different platforms. John asked Dan, has Florida lost a meet? What's our chance? Our chances are very, very good. It's all about scoring when it comes to that. And so Dan is our correspondent when it comes to gymnastics. It's very, very confusing to me, but good luck to them in their meet this weekend. And they have a chance to win it all for sure. Lauren says they've lost some close games last weekend. Top pitcher has less than 0.35 ERA. I'm not sure what he's talking about A&M, I guess. Yeah, but I don't think they're as good as they used to be when they first came into the league. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's program, folks. We appreciate y'all chiming in, listening to the program. Hope you have a great weekend, a lot of sports to watch, and we'll recap it all on Monday. Take care.
Trying to get the fans fired up. 2nd down and 10. Matthews rolling to his right, in trouble, can't find anyone. Now he throws it for Harrison Houston, who makes the catch. He's in the open field. Harrison to the 20. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Gators!